Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Last time we had a bit of an awkward conversation with Sylvie over the phone, who worked at the Whirling in Rags. And now it's time to go to the crime scene and investigate the body. So let's waste no time and do that. What do we have here? Bottles inside. We can pick them up if you have a bag. Rue de Saint-Ghislain.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Oh, I don't know any of these. Let's wait with that. Let's have a look at the body. That's what the plan was. Oh. Hey kid, what you doing?
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Oh yeah, nappa comfy, Kuno!
A moment of your time, please.
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong. Throwing rocks.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about.
Juicy what now?
I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno! Ride the lightning, Kuno!
Kuno's riding it, see?
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Kim, what should we do?
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces.
What forces?
You will see.
Hey kids, siblings?
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
Whoa. Look, I have some questions for you.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got.
Yeah, jeez, calm down. The body, what do you know about it?
Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
Kim, help me out. What do we want to know?
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
You have no idea what the usual is.
Yeah.
Just ask whatever comes to mind.
Do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck gimp. Kuno uses the fuck gimp for target practice.
Do you know how he got up there?
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down.
You didn't see it happening?
You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
Okay, so where did you go then?
I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
Where's Night City?
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant.
Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno!
Okay.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
Jeez. Stop that. About the crime scene. You kids often play in this yard?
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it?
Might have a question later.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
So who's Kuno?
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
Is that some kind of gang name?
Yeah, Kuno's in a fucking gang. In a bang gang. Kuno bangs for Magie, bangs for Mazda, bangs for Revachol.
He lays the names out there with pride and precision, like cards on a table. Right when he's getting distracted, there's a malevolent hiss behind the fence.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you!
Okay.
Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Run!
Oh, jeez.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
I'm just going to leave.
Yeah? Get out of here before the Kuno beats the shit out of you.
Yeah, that's right. Drag your fat ass out of here, fat boy, before Kuno
Please.
fucks you.
Don't listen. Just go.
Just go. Okay, they're not very helpful. Smells like spoiled meat and curdled dairy. Oh, there's something on the ground.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Kind of boots.
Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Lieutenant, workers' boot tracks.
Noted.
This is a white shack. You may retry it. Okay. Let's try it.
What do you
Ouch.
think you are? A super detective?
Yeah.
You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being.
Okay. Well, we can look at that later. Let's... Before I look at the body, I want to look around a little bit more. Of this. The R.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still.
I'm not looking at you, trash container. You're just a trash container.
The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
Lieutenant, what do you think could be in there?
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too.
Yes, I feel like there's something in there.
What do you mean, feel?
It's extrasensory perception. Whatever is in there holds a special significance.
I agree. We should get someone from the remote viewers division here.
What is the remote viewers division?
All the detectives from all the precincts who experience extrasensory perception go to the remote viewers division. Their work is invaluable to the force.
Wow, could we get them there?
No, because they don't exist.
Aw, I'm so disappointed right now. Thought there was a remote viewers division.
There isn't, but we should still access this container.
How do we get the lock open?
We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
Okay, 3%. Probably should ask the manager. We can do that, but let's look around. Maybe there's something else that we need to ask about. Rickety but climbable. It wouldn't hold the weight of a grown man. Herbs in the greenhouse. There's something. Ooh, money. And magnesium. Ah, there we go. Oh. I actually healed myself. I didn't really want to do that right now, but okay. Kind of wasted that. Can we go here? Oh my god, what's this?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
28%. Let's try it. Oh no.
Because it's nice and orderly. Well-laid pallets. Easy on the eyes. No, there's more to this. You get this strange feeling.
What feeling?
Hard to say. It's gone now. Feelings pass, you see. Especially the small ones.
Okay. It's not.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath.
Oof.
A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
God, why is that? Why is this so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about
A
to
3%
blow.
check.
It's gonna blow, Kuno.
You try it? Go up your nose without throwing up.
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Try to walk away. Oh. Ew.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
Fucking corpse.
Keep it.
Handkerchief. Thanks.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
Think ammonia would help?
If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
Do you?
I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
Okay, where do we get ammonia from?
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell.
Oh, right, the gardener.
If
yeah.
she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fleet store nearby.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Okay, so once we get a modifier, we can actually retry the check. Okay. Well, let's go to the gardener. Maybe on the way back, also talk to guard. Let's do that first, and then talk to the gardener. Maybe get some ammonia. Hey, my favorite bartender.
Can I help you?
I need a drink. Can you pour me one?
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this a shaker?
He sounds irritated.
You sound irritated. Why? All I want is a drink.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm not a bartender. I'm a cafeteria manager. Is there anything else you wanted?
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
I'm an alcohol-operated detective, and if you want me to clean up the dead body and solve the case, then you need to insert alcohol into my mouth.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass or a pineapple?
A pineapple, actually.
Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have work to do and broken things to fix. If that was all, I'd like to return to it.
Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors, too. They put their trash there, and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
Wonder what this feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
What if I told you I am a hobo? Or soon to be one, rummaging through that trash? Will you keep me out too?
Yes.
But I need leftovers to survive.
Sir, I'm sorry the RCM is having financial trouble, but it's not this establishment's problem.
Doesn't it seem callous to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor?
Callous? What are you, Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
Maybe I am Krasmazov.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
No, wait. What if I am Krasmazov?
We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time,
Okay.
officer. This was about the trash container.
Oh, we need those keys.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
So about that money I owe.
Yes.
How
Have you
much
got
money
it?
was it again?
For the drinks? 30 real.
Okay.
Like what?
I've seen something here at the Whirling.
About the money you owe me.
The thing I need to talk about.
What thing?
I saw a sign that said the mess hall is reserved for the Union.
Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
He hates the Union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
Let it go, you're above participating? No way. It's a shame you've got to suck up to the Union to stay afloat.
I don't. I'm simply providing a service, already facilitating the offering of services to paying customers, and it doesn't matter. I don't have to explain myself to you.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
How do we find them?
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
Right. I saw a sign that said I couldn't go into the kitchen. Why can't I go into the kitchen?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
really hungry.
And want me to make an exception for you? You're not even a hostel guest till you pay your outstanding bills. Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must.
Okay.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to sing karaoke here.
Absolutely out of the question.
You wait and see, cafeteria manager.
Exactly.
Absolutely in the question.
Yes.
First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit.
Yes. Karaoke. So we can level up. I will have a look at that in a second. It's the handkerchief. We got. Inspect the victim's body. Get ammonia from the gardener or the Fritz store to make it easier. From the trash container, find out who's in the union box. Keep an eye on. So with that skill point, I could also unlock another slot here. We have one more free slot. Or I could unlearn this. If I don't want this bonus anymore, I could unlearn it. I think I will actually use it for leveling up a skill. Now, the question is, what do we want to level up? So many options. We have Inland Empire at 7. Esprit de Corps is 6 right now. What would be fitting for us? Rhetoric, maybe. Suggestion, Puppet Master. Perception, see, hear, and smell everything. Let no detail go unnoticed. That would be interesting, right? Well, we could go further into Inland Empire. Visual calculus, reconstruct crime scenes, make laws of physics work for the law. Oh, I feel like conceptualization would be fitting. See art in the world. Already have 4 there. Kind of tough. There's so many options. I kind of like our weirdo character that we're playing so far, so I don't think like logic is really something. Although like I feel like logic and encyclopedia would be super helpful to understand more things, but I don't feel like really it helps us. Rhetoric kind of this, or not it helps us, but like it don't feel like it fits us. Same with rhetoric, would be super helpful, but doesn't really fit us. Not really a great actor or liar. We're just kind of like a weirdo. Authority is not really our thing. Conceptualization I could see. Suggestion I could see in a way, like kind of with like a weird charm. Pain threshold. Physical instrument. Chemistry shivers. Half-light. I also feel like perception might be a thing. Let's go with perception, actually. I don't like that. Since we're like very intuition based, but also maybe being able to see some things that others might oversee, or overlook. Wait, another new thing? We have a map here. Power of Eternite. Perception side. Maybe because we leveled it up now. Okay, let's talk to the gardener and maybe get the ammonia and try getting close to the corpse again.
Hello again, officer.
You still
How
have
are
your
things?
salts.
Sure. I'm done with them.
Oh, thanks.
Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
Oh, that's fine. So do we have to use it beforehand? I don't think so. Got an update on this. We tried again.
An inconspicuous pile of
Yes.
the roofing material, Eternite.
42%.
Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid palette, it reveals no secrets.
Ah. Try it again.
There he still is.
That's
looking
8%?
right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all. The ammonia only makes it worse.
Oh,
the combination
no.
forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much.
Oh boy.
When the
Here we go
vomiting is
again.
done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
The ammonia didn't help at all.
Nor does the wind right now.
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Can we do something else? I think I want to solve something else now.
That's probably a good idea. Clear our head. But before we can do that, you need to get your shit together.
I don't want to get my shit together.
Then the world will turn away from you and leave you behind.
Okay.
We should go talk to
Volumetric
the
shit
locals.
compression.
Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it for special bonuses and effects.
Oh, that might help us with taking down the body. So that might be worth using our last slot on. There. Internalize. Okay. I guess we will have to do something else in the meantime. Can I try this again, now that I got an upgrade in perception?
There are several footprints in the mud.
Okay. Well, guess... Oh, I got the key for the garbage container. Let's check that out.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobo Cop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content.
Didn't I just have a premonition that there's something in there?
There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Oh, let's
We're
look
just
under
in
the
time.
box of cartons.
This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool
Wow.
from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Interesting.
Drop them in here, officer.
Okay.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Lovely.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
That's all, I think.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes
Yeah.
in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Okay. Search the food
Lieutenant,
waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands.
Oh,
Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
what?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Look it up.
They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Oh.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
Okay.
If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
Must have been cramping my style.
Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork. It probably contains notes on numerous ongoing investigations, and could even list undercover operatives, informants. I suggest integrating it into your style, for all our sakes.
I don't know, man. Sounds like an order. I don't take those.
I see, yes. You are what we call a badass, aren't you? Tell me, does your badass see more in there, or are we done here?
Read your ledger and
yes,
name the case.
and it would also be appropriate to start taking notes on the case. It's what cops do.
Okay.
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
Okay. Dig in Hobocop style for extra content.
Wow. An Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. Half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny.
What's a knock cannon?
It's a giant rifle.
Whoa.
And it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes?
What?
It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000. Easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
I am into hi-fi.
That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there.
Oh.
There's just food waste and crisp wrappings.
A cool chest. There must be something.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron.
An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
Ugh.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Okay.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Okay, let's look at what we have. Interact. The mug.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. Oh boy.
Quite a
Here we
lot.
go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Fair enough. But let's look at the ledger.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard.
Perfect.
It's a metaphor for you.
I get it.
Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Maybe it's kitchen tissue. They look exactly the same.
If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's
Okay.
not, though. It's toilet paper.
Deception smell. I'll leave it there. It's cool.
Cool toilet paper. I mean kitchen tissue. It says, everyone look at me and my kitchen tissue covered cop ledger. I don't care. My ledger is droopy and it smells like a urinal.
Let's inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Now run your finger across the aluminum.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How many years you've been on the the Force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example?
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
That's all, thank you.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Let's browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
God knows I've made my share. He tries not to think of them. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was a mention of a naming convention.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Where's that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Using the pen Lena gave you. Yes, committed to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
You like the Hanged Man?
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Okay.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Can I read the case files now? 42%?
It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
Okay. Browse the yellow paper.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real.
Great.
Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better.
No.
The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Let's smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open it?
With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Okay, 58%.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know.
Somehow I don't want to.
What are you waiting for? That's because you know where this leads to.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't sound like it's gonna be fun!
Jesus, our necktie is talking to us again. I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty strong warning. We had now had our inland empire multiple times warning us. So for now, I think I'll leave it. Maybe we can come back to that.
Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
But this was supposed to help us to inspect the body, right?
There
72.
he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated
That's
to
right.
that. As you breathe
Yes!
in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast
Ceramic.
to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, aren't they? This is the armor he was stripped of.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the hill. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals?
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. We
What's the
should keep
rest
a
of
lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
What's Kuno? Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there's no rest of the armor?
No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
What if they told him to strip before they hung him, to demean him?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Ching, baby!
By catching, do you mean, let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
What was that about the constabulatory before? You need to push some buttons if you want to recruit the lieutenant in a conspiracy.
If this constabulatory is dragging their feet, why not start ourselves before more good men die?
So they don't get shot in the foot? I think our extremities are fine without a dead man's boots.
Oops. Well, no one said it would work. Back to detecting now.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
Initial report?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
He's not actually sure of that. He's just being tactful.
He's looked pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Knock on the boot.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like whirls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Looks like there is a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
E50, 100, 1000.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done.
Okay.
The station can chase it for us.
We have to go to the kinema anyway to turn the lights on, to check out our finder. Pull the boot off.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
Up the boot on the arm.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop!
Oh.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it?
You're going to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Do what?
Pull his head off. There's no point performing an autopsy if you do. We'll have compromised the coroner's case.
That's probably bad.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
These boots. These boots would go super well with my bell bottom pants.
You do understand the boots are steeped in cadaverine odor, don't you?
I mean, so are my pants.
You have a point there, detective. You have a point. But there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Sounds like a plan.
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
What's going to happen to the boots then?
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
Okay.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the
The
belt.
hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
What kind of rope is this?
Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Like in a circus. When the circus leaves town,
Cargo
they
to
tie a
lorries.
black-spotted giraffe to the wall of a carry pen.
Like in a harbor?
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it?
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
No. You feel like it was something else. But what?
I feel like it was something else.
Yes, it often is. This bell worries me.
They should wanted him to stay there. The polyester seems strong.
It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Root. Is this a map of a night sky?
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
Missing something here.
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
Interrogate Sunshine. Mini.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
Hey.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Hey. Ooh.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
And I have it. I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
Okay.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks
Open in
by.
the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death.
Interesting. This man enjoyed the moment of death.
Why do you think so?
For supernatural reasons.
There are no supernatural reasons.
I am less skeptic about this hunch, he thinks, than I was of the supernatural premonitions that overtook you at the trash container. He then covers his nose again.
Tell me who you are, dead man.
The corpse
What? It's
is dead
92%?
silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench.
Squint and
like
take a
sh-
step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I'm squinting, Kim. Why am I doing it?
How should I know why you are squinting, officer?
Squint harder. His face and hands are pink. Thighs too. The rest is greenish.
Oh. You are trying to assess lividity.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead.
There are crow's feet in his eyes. He's laughing silently. His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
I don't know what to think. What do you think?
I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think.
Maybe he was strangled by someone?
Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Something is coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death?
Maybe.
He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Oh, we've been thorough. Do you have a plan for getting him down?
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge.
That's a
I've got
good
chain
point.
cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Maybe we could shoot him down.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
I don't know. Just, you know, shoot. I'm there. Just shoot the belt. The bullet will break it.
It absolutely will not, officer. That's not how physics work. It will maybe cut one thread loose.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno.
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea.
Let him choose.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his
Okay.
jacket
Okay.
and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Shoot that motherfucker down.
He's gonna fucking miss!
Whoa.
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
he feels bad about it. About his eyes mostly. Just having bad eyesight. Probably from a young age. Whatever you do, do not console him.
Fucking idiot! Muckabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
So what now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
We could saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Ah, seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Can someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
Yeah, exactly. Call the police.
Someone already did. You know who came? We did.
Oh.
Because we have made bad life decisions. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
So the other options
But
first.
what other options? The corpse twists on the belt,
We
like
can
chicken on a skewer.
just not do it.
We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there, but to get him down.
I really want to pull his head off.
How do you plan to get him down then? With social sensibility? Are you going to educate him down?
I try to shoot him down myself.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
I'm gonna need your gun for this.
They only have one gun.
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Officer, why do we only have one gun?
Well, remember when I told you I didn't have my badge or uniform with me when I woke up? Well, I didn't have my gun either.
That is even more unfortunate than the badge. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible. Try not to lose this one, please.
We're not off to a good start. This missing gun business is making your hand tremble.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
Point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You
Can do
stand
it.
with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
17% only. Point the gun at Kuno ass. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea.
I agree. Enough gunslinging for today.
What about the body?
We need to access the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to have it taken down. They have the tools, and they have men.
Why don't we just begin with that?
I did not want us to be indebted to Everard Clare. I wanted us to be able to deal with it ourselves. That is clearly not the case. We need help.
You need to suck my dick. Why the fuck am I still alive?
Who's Everett Clare?
The leader of the Union. A dangerous and corrupt man. One you don't want to be indebted to.
Okay. Well, that was a lot of investigating. We ran a little long on the episode, so I think this is a good time to take a break, and we'll pick it up here next time and continue our investigation. Thank you all for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. If you want to go above and beyond, you can check out the Patreon link down below. And I will be back with more Disco Elysium tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.